Okay, so after you have installed the client software on all the PCs at the store, you want to come into SolarWinds and make sure that they are reporting back. Sometimes they report back immediately, other times I've seen it take up to a day or two until it comes back. So uh, don't be too alarmed if you install it and then go right into SolarWinds and they're not there yet. Like I said, I have seen it where it takes a day or two for it to come back. So don't quite panic until you give it a few days and then go back and try to reassign it. So anyway, when we're in SolarWinds, what we want to do is we're going to be looking at store number 34207. So we're going to go into down here on the right or left hand side, the assets, and then we're going to choose computers. Now you can see up here at the top there's 1052 items. These are all the licenses that are currently in use. Obviously, you don't want to scroll through all of them, so we're going to knock it down quite a bit. We're going to go into Edit View, and then the attribute select has dependencies, and you'll probably have to search for it because that was in my recently used. And then you want to select No, and then go down here and hit Apply. All right, so now we have 33 items filtered by has no dependencies. So that means we got 33 computers sitting in SolarWinds that haven't been assigned to any locations yet. So as I said, we're going to focus on 34207. So just to make sure that they all reported back, you can go up here to the search bar and type in 34207. I like to sort them by name here. Makes it a little bit easier. All right, so we got 13 PCs coming back. So if we go into TeamViewer, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The only one that we did not install SolarWinds on is the time clock PC. We're not going to install SolarWinds on any of the time clock PCs in the Piggly Wigglies or any of the support PCs because they're going to kind of be getting phased out from what I was told by Dan. So it looks like all the PCs basically reported back here. So what we can do now is go into the store. So we want to click on assets over here on the left hand side, other assets, and then do a search for 34207. There's the store there. So you don't even have to hit edit here. You can just scroll down and you want to look for configuration items on the right hand side. As you'll see, there's nothing. So we want to attach configuration items to the other asset and create a relationship. So we hit attach, and then you're going to see all these PCs pop up here again, or assets actually, down here at the bottom. So we want to slim that down a bit. So the first thing we want to do is select dependency type. You have to have this or it won't let you assign it. Always put child of. Then just so that it doesn't, it, sometimes it adds in here like other assets that are not computers. So I always go in here and go to filter and then by computer, and then you can type in the store number 34207. And now you see that we have 13 items that are showing up in here. So we can go ahead and assign all of these to this location. Just make sure they all start with 34207. And it tells you down here how many are selected out of how many you have. Okay, so they're all there. So then we want to hit attach. And now we have all these items attached to the store. So we can go in here and look at view all. and then that's all 13 of the PCs that are assigned to this location. So if you haven't really been in here, this is pretty useful for running reports if you need to on operating systems, on a certain version of software, if you want to see how much memory is in a certain PC, all kinds of things, and you can play around with that. But I'll show you like where some of the stuff is. So if you go into like the cache PC here, this comes up. This will tell you who the last user was that was logged in. It gives you the IP address of the PC, gives you the PC name, gives you the work group, gives you the OS product key. What we're doing down here when you scroll down through that first tab is we put these custom fields in. So if it's a server, you might want to go in there and select, is it a large store or a small store setup. So large store has RAID, small store has no RAID. If it's a back office configuration, is a PC monitor all in one, or is the PC and monitor separate? For lanes, you can go in here and pick the lane model, because unfortunately with NCR, it doesn't do as nice of a job as it does with Dell. And Dell will read the hardware over here and give you what kind of PC it is. So you know it's an Optiplex 3070, gives you the serial number, manufacturer. NCR is not quite so nice and doesn't really tell you, it just gives you a bunch of numbers. So unless you know those numbers and can translate it into the PC model, or look it up, it's kind of tough. So if you go back over here, you can select the lanes as to what kind of lanes they are. And then you can also give some location information, kind of pin pads, hand scanners, anything that's attached to it, you can assign to that PC. So if you need to ever look at what's all attached to that computer, you have it all at your fingertips there. So this also will tell you, does a software audit, tells you all the software that's on that PC and what the versions are, and we can print reports if we ever have some kind of issue or something, to see what's actually out there. Hidden has, I think, like Windows updates and stuff like that, so you can go in here and, if you have a bad Windows update or something, we can do a report on that and know the PCs that pulled that update. Hardware, like I said, this gives you your IP address, how much memory, what kind of CPU, all kinds of stuff in here if you want to look around at it. Here's the good thing of the life cycle. This only works for Dell. It will actually pull in from the BIOS the warranty information. So you can see that this PC has already expired, and it was last updated January 22nd with the warranty information. So, this PC is no longer covered under warranty. So that's kind of a cool feature if you need to go and look right away. We're not doing any risks or incidents to these PCs. The configuration item, this doesn't really have too much information in, other than it will tell you that it's assigned to Piggly Wiggly 119. So if you needed to remove this PC and not have it assigned to 119, you could go over here and hit delete, and it would delete it out of there. It won't delete it out of the whole system, and we'll still be using a license. It will just delete it so that it's no longer attached to this store. So let's see, we went in here to 119. Let me do a refresh. We assigned all the PCs. We got 13 that matched up with 13 in TeamViewer. Well, 14, but we're not installing on the time clock, so we're pretty good there. That looks like everything worked. So now if you go back out here to assets, computers, and then you hit edit view, filter has dependencies, choose no, apply. Now you're only going to have 20 PCs. So these are some other ones that came back from stores that I've done that I haven't assigned yet, but I will go in and do that. One other thing is to look at the category over here and make sure that that's correct. Sometimes they are not. Let me see if I can find one that is not correct. Apply. So we should get all the items there. Categories. Okay, so like here's one. It put in 54124 terminal 2 as a laptop. I always go in and change that. You can go in here and under the category, we'll make that workstation. I pretty much am trying to keep it like server or workstation. So we'll make that a workstation, and then you don't even have to hit save. You can just hit back, and there we go. Now they're all workstations. So let's see if there's any others that are not assigned properly. So we can go in here to filter, and we can type in category, and then is equal to, let's see if there's any not set. Apply. Okay, so everything has a category assigned to it. All servers should be ISPs, and that looks good. So like I said, it mostly picks up the correct things, but sometimes it will throw something in there as a Chromebook or a laptop. So go in there and make sure you change that. I'm trying to think, what else can we do in here? If a store closes or they get new equipment, we definitely want to take the licenses out. So what you can do is look for the computers. Now, say 34207 was going to close tomorrow. We can go back to where we have all the PCs, do a search for 34207, hit the 13 items there. What you would do is select all, actions, and then delete. And it's going to warn you here, deleting these items. If I hit that, it's going to take them out of SolarWinds completely, and it's going to free up those 13 licenses. So, like I said, if there's the store gets new PCs, you can either go in and do this before you put them in. It may report back if the PC is still online, or you can do it after. The way you would do it is you'd have to go in and search for the store numbers, and then you can actually, let me see here, by the last update, you can tell, like, sort it by the last update, and that way okay, so today is the 30th. We're going in and we're putting new computers in this store all today. So then next week, we're finished up with the install. We did the follow up. Now we're straightening up paperwork and everything. Go in here, and you'll see two of each of these. You can obviously sort it by the last update, and the new computers should have a new update date, of a few days out, and then you can just delete all the ones from January 30th because you know that those were the old ones. So like I said, if you have any questions, you can, always come back to me and ask, and I can walk you through it. But we definitely want to try to keep up with this. Anytime we replace a PC, anytime we replace a motherboard, because it ties itself to the serial number of the motherboard, I believe, and like the OS. So just always make sure that there's not duplicates showing up. You want to do it anytime. Yeah, anytime you put in a new PC, change the motherboard, take a PC offline, they get rid of a PC or two. Make sure you delete the licenses because we only have so many. Um, and we are right at the borderline, and we're probably gonna have to purchase just a handful of more. Um, so I'm hoping that with every I'm hoping that we don't have a extra lot of PCs that are saying that they don't have a license. I'm hoping that we always have like 5 or 10 licenses free. So that pretty much sums that up as far as getting everything assigned. So, like I said, make sure you're actively doing that. Um, you can also, one more thing, edit view. Let's cancel out of this. You can, if you have all the PCs up, you can go to actions and then find duplicates, and then it'll come up with a bunch of or a drop down list for some ways you can search for duplicates. So obviously you can search by MAC address. Um, what I don't quite get is that, and then I have to go in and look at these um, because I don't quite get why some of them will show up with the same MAC address but a different serial number. I don't get that, and then I kind of got to dig into those. So there's a couple here that have the same MAC address but different serial numbers, and they were last detected here. So I got to look into why that's happening. You can do by serial number, duplicates. Like I said, these I got to go in and look at. I don't understand why they all have the same serial number. Well, obviously, these are a bunch of probably RP60s because the serial number was blanked out on the motherboard. So that's why we have those. But computer name, you can go in there for that. Obviously, this wrap station was probably two different stores. Um, and like I said, I have to go in here and look to figure out if both these are still truly reporting. They shouldn't be because they're the same name. So I have to look at those. Okay, that's it this time. Any questions, give me a call.